Yeah, so every like 30 minutes, you just 45K, you'll just disappear. Let me see what I'm looking at over here. I don't pick titles, stuff you don't watch and you don't generally. I haven't had many people, many subscribers or anything like that. So it is what it is. This is another thing I don't like. You see how if I don't have my quantum on, I can't see the where I need to go or where I want to go. But if I turn my quantum on, I can see where I need to go, where I want to go. Right. I used to love this one right here. My favorite one. Spent the most time on this one when I first started playing. They need to make these ships somewhat self-leveling. There's a lot of missions up. But it's the same stuff. You just fly around, you do the same thing over and over again. It's not interesting. It's just interesting. It's just over time, it's just like, oh, blah. And how many times in order to get a bar? No. So it becomes like, nah, I think not. I don't want to do it anymore.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Oh, that is interesting. Look at that. I don't have a rock. I always have a rock. I guess I didn't buy one this time around. I'm out here with no rock. Interesting. So we gotta fly, go get a rock all the way back. I guess so.
Please visit us again.
That's one of the first things I always buy is a rock. I didn't have any of my buttons. I don't know why that happened. Can't tell you why. Both sides of the ship. But if you ask me, I think in the future we should have remote control. Am I tripping? That's one cooler. Oh. I should have two coolers. Two of these should be in there. Why is that one in there? I don't know what this is. Oh, that's a power plant. And where's the other power plant? It's supposed to be two power plants. What power plant is this? Let's go look. Where's the other power plant? Oh, here it is. That's the other cooler. That's the other power plant. In here. Why are all of them in here? I don't get it. There's a battery. Oh, that must be the jump. XL. No, that is. I don't know what this is. Jump drive. It's kind of cool. All of them have their own quarters, but what does quarters mean? So every crew having their own quarters. This is cool, but let's say it's a waste of space. I'm gonna tell you why. Because what does it mean that someone has their own quarters? Like, what does it really mean? Generally, you own your own ships. People buy all their own ships. What does it mean to have your own ship, even? So if I have crew quarters and I have people with me going out on a mission, what does it mean to be on missions together? What does it mean that we're on missions together and someone has a quarters? What can they do in their quarters? What does it mean? What's the importance of having this space, right? Is it just here for design, to sell more ships? Or does it have a purpose that actually creates great gameplay? You know, what gameplay is surrounded behind being able to open this and close it? There's no gameplay for it. You know, it's just, I think, I envision it like when I would watch my little sister play with her Barbie doll houses, you know, my little sister was interested in the fact that, oh, it has a closet, oh, it has a stove, and the stove light up when you press the button. So, but what does it really actually mean? Is it just things that you can come in and play with and you can fantasize about, or is it really a thing, you know? Is it really a thing? I don't get it. I don't see it. You know, I don't actually see it. What is the thing? What is the room for? Why a room? You know, that I don't get. You know, what does it mean that your crew members have the room? What do they do in that room other than log out on the bed? That right now, thousands of people can log out on the same bed and then log back in on the same bed. Probably not all at the same time, but you know, there's no limit to how many people can log out and log in on one bed. I don't think making it, giving it a limit or a capacity is the way to make it relevant in the game, because it's not. But that's something that they would do, the devs here would do, is say, oh, you only a certain amount of people can log in and log out on that bid.
Welcome
They would
to
do
the
that,
ASOP vehicle
but
retrieval
it doesn't
system.
make sense. Why let anybody and everybody? How does it change the game? Because the gameplay, there's no real gameplay for this game. There's no real gameplay for this game. You know, none of the gameplay loops mesh together.
Your insurance claim has been
They don't
sent.
mean anything to one. Don't
Your
mean
vehicle
anything
has
to
been
the other.
moved to our storage facility.
It's just things that you can go around and do. You can press some buttons because you paid
Vehicle
$250
selected.
for a ship, $1,000
Stand by.
for a ship, $3,500 for a ship. Well, those
Your
ships ain't in
vehicle
the
has
game
been
yet.
delivered to the following location.
But you spend $700, $800, $900 on some of the ships in the game. But what does it mean? That what does that ship mean to the game? This is an exploration ship. It has big scanners on it, advanced scanners, I think they said. But what does an advanced scanner mean? What does an advanced scanner mean? Right now, nothing. How would it work? How fleshed out is the gameplay going to be surrounding those scanners? Can they pull it off? Can they create great gameplay just based around that one concept, which is a scanner? They haven't done it yet. We have refineries in the game, the big refinery, and the gameplay surrounding from refineries. No one really likes this because the gameplay doesn't work. The whole concept and idea, and you can think about how great it would be for mining and creating profit and creating some industry. But the rest of it, it's not really viable in the game. It's not there. So what we need them to do is come up with some ideas of how to make this valuable. But the thing is, if it was a video game, companies know that they had to have those things thought of and put out there, otherwise people won't buy the game and they won't come play their game and they won't make any money. So what's interesting about Star Citizen is that they took away that thing where they had to make it work and it had to be fun. They had to make sure it was fun. They had to make sure that it was exciting, because we give them money and then they just say, okay, we're going to get it at some point, you know, and then they go off to the next thing and say, give us more money. And the one thing isn't complete, it's not done, or it's not fun. It's not even really there. It's something simple. It's something that needs to be done by any game company. And they say, oh, we don't have the technology to do this, but we're working on the technology. Just wait until we get the technology, and that's when people get confused. Like, wait a minute, you know, y'all can't fix this. You mean to tell me you can't do this thing? Then I just walk through the ship to the death. So you can't fix this thing? You can't stop this from happening? How long has this been happening? why haven't y'all fixed this part yet? This thing right here, I mean, glitching through the ship. How long has players been glitching through the ships? So people say, oh, that's because this is a new ship. No, we've been doing this for a very long time. So this one thing has been, especially with the Ursa rover, you know, we've been doing this thing, and I'm stuck in the ship. I'm on a rescue mission. I can't do it. I failed a mission. You lose reputation. If I kill myself, I lose my gear. And they say, oh, you can come back and get your stuff. That's what y'all said when y'all implemented it, but it's not working. So how long we known that it wasn't working? How come it wasn't fixed when we knew that it wasn't working, that we can't. So this has been the thing with the Ursa rover, that it clips you through the top. How long has that Ursa rover been out? How many years? So these are the things you have to consider, CIG. Y'all gotta get these things together. So I'm showing you guys that this is not working. But no matter how much we report this, and they say, oh, you know, you guys we report the bugs, we fix them. That is never really happening. They just say, oh, you know, we're not gonna fix it because we got this one technology. When we get that done, it's gonna solve all the problems. So, but here, buy these ships, concept these ships. It's gonna be $800, but you support these ships. But how many of those ships are being worked on? So more ships are being added to the pot, but ships that people have not have concepted are not complete. And when they come out, like this ship, they have issues that never get fixed, or parts that's supposed to be on the ship that's not on the ship. Alright, so I cannot get out of this. This is bad. I don't know how to get out of this. Let's try a couple things. Let's see if it can pop me out or snatch me out of here. I got some cool stuff here. I was looking for one of these. Yeah, so with this, what's going to happen here is that I have to actually backspace, kill myself, lose everything that I have now, and start all over. So you see how long it took me to get to this point, right? It took me a very long time. And claim the ship, and all the time that's there is all lost. Alright, I'm stuck up here now. I'm stuck. What to do, how to get out of it, I don't know. I'm looking for a workaround right now. There's a way to roll. How do you roll? Left and right button, but I'm not rolling. There it is. See if I can shake myself out of this by rolling out. See if I can roll to a part that's gonna let me glitch through the rest of the ship, like I did the other day when I went through the elevator. I got stuck in this ship. Q. Can I roll out? Can I roll out? Can I roll out? Can I roll out? Roll out of this ship. Roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out. Oh, there it is. Got up. Here's another thing. Up here, I don't think it's a button so I can get into my ship through this elevator. So that's another thing that we were saying. They don't think about everything. So now a button up here so I can get through this elevator. I can find where the elevator is. It's on this side. It's on one of these sides. There's an elevator. The elevator comes up here, but can't get in. It's over here. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's an elevator. So Ursa Rover is probably not the ship, not the vehicle to take, because if it glitch out again, try to get in or out. So it looks like that rescue mission is gone already that I took. There was a bug that if you see the rescue mission, you take them and then it just disappeared. That was a thing. Let me take a call from Arms just in case. So, there's ways you can try to make your own enthusiasm and fun, but my friends aren't on. Gamers play games like gamers, so the forced multi-crew stuff is not going to be successful this game. Because like right now, I'm up early in the morning. I have a great career, a great job, and I get to play. I get to play when a lot of my friends have to work. So I can't rely on multi-crew, in other words, you know. And that's another reason why I bought this ship. Even though it's a multi-crew ship, it gives me control over a lot of firepower. And that's why I got it. I would really love for the Ursa Rover to work, or them to come out with some other ship similar to the Ursa Rover. And I would like to talk about, I'll make some videos on how I use the Ursa Rover for them to look at the next vehicle. Maybe it's a Drake version of the Ursa Rover. I think they should come out with Drake versions of the type of ground vehicles that they have in the game. Definitely like a Drake like tank. Maybe not a tank, but a version, a different version. Of course, we're gonna know that it's gonna have something to do with, it has some great capacity for piracy. So it's gonna have a lot of weapons. Dumbass cats. I'm gonna have to do something. I think I need to get them more beds. They actually like landing in beds, which I appreciate. That's kind of dope. Maybe I get some, put some downstairs so they won't be sitting on my chairs and couches with their dirty butts. They look around all goofy like, oh, it wasn't my fault. Did you do it? No, I think it was your fault. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw you do it. No, it was your fault. They looking stupid. They was getting in their little bed that I got on a file cabinet right underneath my desk. And one of them was walking around and got to the edge and made it flip off, and the other one flipped on his head. Dominance cat.
Engines online.
There's no rhyme or reason because it's a larger gun, it should have less shots than the other guns because it's a larger gun means that larger capacity. It doesn't make sense. Alright, and this is the other thing is that I'm not really interested in making money. I'm not really interested in that right now. I have no interest. I mean, even now, and I have 8 mil. It's not much more I want in the game. Once you've played this game for many years, and you pretty much walk through and you do everything, I generally just go around and start doing things after they try to make some adjustments, or they add something to something that's supposed to work and it don't work. I go around and mess around with that, but I generally don't do these things to buy ships, to buy money, get money to get this. Oh, I gotta get this ship because I had that ship. Because I found in the past, once you get all those things and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I have it, but like I have this ship now, and all I'm doing is transporting a vehicle, trying to do some rescues, maybe do a little bit of combat. That's it. There's nothing more to do. The quest gameplays, missions are just on the site. Let's do that. Let's walk through. Let's do some missions. We got bounties. I can chase bounties. It's the same thing over and over again. And once you did them, many patches started all over after build up this reputation. You just don't want to keep doing them patch after patch. Try to grind them out. I grinded them out a lot to get to the highest level. It took a long time to get there, but once you get there and you were like, this is it, it's nothing more but the same thing, you just there was no reward. You just been like, I ain't doing this anymore. So I was at the point where I just didn't want to do them anymore. So how I got these back up here, because some of the reputation, it now carries over after the patch. It doesn't get erased anymore. So you don't have to start over from scratch anymore. All you have to do is do the certifications. So after I do the certifications, I'm still up. But however, I refuse to actually max out each place again, because I still, after they reset and they took all our reputation away from us, and they'll do it again to make us start all over, but they won't change the missions. The missions will be the same style. And I'm gonna say this again, and I don't know if CIG care or not. You have to hire people that can get into these missions and say, this is not fun. Let's do this, and let's design it this way, and let's have the gameplay this way. So people can have fun doing it. It has a means, and it has an end, a goal. It has a process. Abhidaya, Prayojana, and Sambandha. There's some Sanskrit words. You gotta have a goal, right? What is the goal, right? What is the process to reach that goal? And what is the process procedures? What's the things you have to do to reach that goal? And what is the reason for it? What is the benefit, right? What is the outcome, the benefit? They don't have that because none of it mixed together. The fact that I go out and get reputations and do bounties and get a high reputation, I get some more money for doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not fun. If I get into a group with other people and the mission is 90K, so I got 5-6 people in my ship, because y'all want us to multi-crew some of these missions, then we all get what, 10, whoever I share the missions with, and we share the reputation. We're not doing that. Y'all gotta see that we're not doing it, because we're like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. Why should I? Because I have to share the reputation. If I want to try to max out your system, I need to, I'm not gonna spend 3 months to do it. I'm not gonna do it and share with other people. What I'm gonna do is avoid those higher levels, supposed to be more challenging. So more challenging for y'all was to make these NPCs more DPS, make them move faster, shoot. It doesn't work in group gameplay. It has to be more challenging. I would suggest looking at EverQuest 2, how their raids went and how exciting those things were. And I mean, y'all just need to hire guys that can do it. That's all I can say, because the creative mind is something really interesting, and everybody don't have it. They think they have it, but everybody just don't have it. Y'all gotta get the right guys. That's just it. That's all I can say about it. Y'all gotta hire the right people, and y'all have people good. Y'all have people who can come in and design some things, but y'all don't have the guys that come in and make us see a game and say, oh, boom, put it together, and it works, and people be like, oh shit, I ain't think of that. These people are creative. They're great. I don't have those guys. You know, if I just take some of these missions until I blow up, then I don't have to. Let me see what this one is. 93K. Let's take this one and see what this is about. How much fun can I
Please, somebody help! These outlaws came out of nowhere and opened fire!
rescue me? I'll take the rescue me. Let's go. A lot of times these rescue beacons are people who are grieving. That's another thing, like y'all designed this into the game, but y'all didn't think about how people were gonna grief other people, and then people were gonna say, I have a video on one stream, how people are actually griefing others. I have that video by they're using rescue beacons to grief. Working. Yeah, go and see if I can make it work. I'll untrack and then track again and see if it pops up this time. There it is. See? But people fanatics say, but they're working on a new system. They said they was working on a new system. So I've been paying like 4 years now, and they've been saying that since I've been playing. Oh, they say about 8 years. Ghost Rider. This looks like a griefing situation, possibly, just by the name. look at what Grumpy Eyes said. Let's go check out the man Grumpy. I love Grumpy Eyes. His intro music. I wish he would be kind enough to me to help me get mine set up.
You know, I'm probably gonna clip through the fucking. Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's like half.
Grumpy Eye. The same thing that happened to me just happened to him on his video. Let me see if I can find it and play it. It's not popping up on my computer. Ah, here it is. See if I can get that over here so you guys can see it. Wow. Can't hear it though. What's up with that? Can't I hear it? Oh, here it is.
I'm probably gonna clip through the fucking. Yep. Sure.
Upper set of men actually get laid. The other guys get.
You know, I'm probably gonna clip through the fucking. Yep.
He went all the way out.
Sure.
I got stuck inside.
Sure. It's like half, like 50% of the time that happens. At this point, if I would buy a ship, which one would you choose? Honestly, for myself, let me just. There we go. And now they're not gonna bounce around anymore, and it's gonna be all fine. It's not. Honestly, why would you buy ships for a game like this?
Just like that.
So if I would buy a Connie or a Corsair, I would buy a fucking MSR, honestly, because of shit like this. You know, I'm probably gonna clip through the fucking. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what happened to me just a few moments ago. I clipped through and was stuck for a very long time. I was trying to do a rescue mission and couldn't do it. Couldn't get there.
Use some support about now.
Hey buddy, I'm doing something.
Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now off.
buckets. If it's buckets, I don't think buckets is one of those places where there's no armistice.
Landing gear down.
Yeah, there's a setup. There's some turrets here. Okay. This guy's moving.
Guess they aren't showing up.
Lights me up, that's the thing. If he died, or he's incapacitated, why is he up? It looks like he's moving around. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. This, what am I doing? There's a rock right there. This is uneven terrain. Wait, this is nasty. This is nasty. Nasty. Nasty place to like it. Let's see. I think I can work with this. That's another thing about this game, right? When you first start playing this game, you gotta learn. It's a lot of learning curves. Like you gotta learn how to land, how to position your ship. You know, you gotta know what to look out for. And I know people who still can't figure this shit out. And they're some of the worst people to play the game with. They just can't figure it out. You know, how to park the damn ship. Like they park on stuff, and the front is in the air, and the back is all fucked up. And they can't get back in. Then it starts bouncing around, taking damage, and become destroyed. All kinds of stuff, man. And yeah, this cargo bay isn't the best cargo bay. See what's going to happen here. See if I might have to cap. These turrets shouldn't be shooting at me. Not this far out. Oh, that's the other thing. Like the turrets can shoot you through the terrain, like shoot you miles away. and they can shoot you through the mountains. They can shoot your ship. It's crazy. It didn't always used to be that way. It was really nice the way they had it before. Because if you can come in on a smaller ship, but you can hide the ship safely behind rocks or in a crater or something, you can still do a lot of these missions. But their mindset was, we're going to make it so we're going to put more turrets to force them to actually do group gameplay, so they can't do these little ship missions for 15K without having a whole bunch of people in a giant ship that costs a lot of money. So that's what I mean about they don't know how to design good gameplay, because that's shitty. That whole concept is shitty. Like this mission I'm on is I'm only gonna get 15K to save someone, and at the same time they made this gameplay. They said, oh, we're gonna make it so you have consequences and you'll lose your stuff. Oh, but you know, people can come and rescue you. We're gonna make rescue beacons, and that's gonna be the rescue gameplay. So people can come and do medical rescues. So I'm gonna show you what a medical rescue is. This is medical gameplay. That you're about to see. Slow down the vehicles because we think they go too fast. Oh, goodness. Alright, so I'm using my Ursa rover to go and do a rescue. Another thing about the Ursa rover is that you could actually put a box in it if you wanted to farm with guns and collect guns and stuff. I used to do that. I did a whole bunch of it. I did bumps of that. I don't want to go back to doing it. I really don't. But this was the best way for me to come in. But I guarantee that if they see me doing this and coming in on a vehicle, parking it out when they can't shoot, they're gonna even make it so that my vehicle will come under attack. Like this, I can't defend it while I'm here or down in the bunker. Or they're gonna make it so that the land vehicles, the turrets can now target the land vehicles and shoot at the land vehicles. So the land vehicles like this are little Ursa rover who has no chance to defend or against these turrets. Most ships can't survive against these turrets. You have to have a multi-crew ship that's big enough with a whole bunch of people, because you got to race the turrets. The turrets are super accurate. They're super powerful. It's like 5 sides 7 guns. 5-7 turrets. That means 14 size 7 guns that's actually shooting at you. That's a lot. That's a lot of firepower. So what they're saying is that they want you to come in here for a 14K mission with a whole bunch of people. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to have to get a whole bunch of people together to come down here and fight for even 20K. Nobody wants to do that, and that's not what they're not seeing it. They say, oh, we want to force it. Then gamers vote with their feet. They go play other games, and they stop back periodically. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Gamers they vote with their feet. They're just leaving. That's a drug mission. Let's look downrange. They all gonna come now. The hell? I did a shit ton of these missions too. Just to see what'll happen in the end. Once you max them out. And I probably won't do it again. Let's just say that. Probably not. Spent wasting my time running all those hours. And it was buggy as fuck. It was so tedious to do. Incredibly tedious. Play the area real quick so I don't get shot in the face. See that glitch? Hit the bracket. So I went down to rescue him. Generally, people don't really do it. People started doing it just because there wasn't nothing else to do. Just to challenge themselves to see if they can get into the bunker safely, rescue the person under stress, and then leave out. But something like that, if they actually get that little portion of it correct, they will eventually fuck it up. Make changes and just they don't see the thing that actually is making the game exciting. And they're trying to just do too much, like the Jumptown thing. Jumptown, they didn't expect Jumptown to turn out the way it did, but it turned into a big PvP brawl of the first year they did Jumptown. So they said, oh, we're gonna enhance that, but they didn't actually enhance it. They just made it, they dumbed it down. They made it worse. And, you know, like Jumptown is cool. It was cool the first time I did it, to be on that type of large scale PvP thing. But then it just, people just stopped doing it. Just stopped doing it altogether. Nobody, I don't do Jumptowns. I mean, it's no use. It's the same thing. You sit out there for hours, sometimes bored. People do come in and you do some PvP, but it's just the same thing over and over again. It's quite boring all the time. So, don't want to do it. Then it's hard. Like, if you don't actually deliver the drugs back, you don't get any reputation, any update for that. You don't get it. The person who actually sells the drugs, instead of everybody in the group getting something out of it, you don't get anything unless you deliver the drugs. But you might have an important role at Jumptown, but you're not getting a reward. You have to rely on the person who's going to sell the drugs to actually even pay you money and actually be fair to you about the money. You know, it's nothing in place. They didn't think of it. You know, they didn't think, oh, you know, this money that's going to be sold from Jumptown is going to be equally divided between all the people in the group. Think of it. So, I know many people that be like, Jumptown, let's go and just do a little bit of PvP and just leave. But we don't stay. We don't continue to do it. We'll do other things because, like, it's poorly designed gameplay. Great concept though, but it's just not there. Like for me, I think the Jumptown the area should be much bigger. Like in Red Dead, they have like those little, they have the towns that you go to, and they have events in those towns. And other people come in, and you have the town, the whole town that you can run through, and climb up ladders, balconies, go inside the houses, and shoot out the windows and stuff. Jumptown should be a much bigger area. Much bigger. If you really want to stop somebody in Jumptown, you just bring an A2. And you just fuck up their day. Because the A2 is so tanky, right? And you can't really stop it before it can drop those bombs over top of Jumptown and smash everything around Jumptown. So that's not fun. And the chances of you stopping an A2 before it even gets close to Jumptown, fuck that ain't happening. It's just so tanky. It has so many guns, and it's so tanky. So once it gets to Jumptown, it's a wrap. And then the counter to that, one of the counters to that was supposed to be the Ares series, right? But that don't work. The Ares series, you're supposed to be able to go in and have enough firepower that you can actually put some stoppages on a vehicle like the A2 or the what is the other one? I'm afraid to get out the fucking seat. So first let me get into this and then try to get out. Maybe I won't glitch through. I did glitch through that time. Oh, it's flying nice in the back. I'm gonna try cannons. Now that I tried the gouge range, I'm gonna go and change the gouge range from cannons, and see how the cannons, if the cannons work better. I need to figure out what cannons work the best for destroying large ships. Suspect. Ballistics is a new meta for these ships. I think they just ripped through too quick, killed it too fast. Grumpy Eye. Listen to my man Grumpy Grumpy Grumpy
So yesterday during the stream, and yes, I am apparently a streamer now, I started streaming during IAE, and I'm probably gonna continue, and we're gonna talk about that a bit later. But I had a really good discussion with the chat, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And we talked about why I think that the super meshing is gonna be delayed even more, and why I think that we're not gonna see it next year, not even by the end of the year, and why them delaying the ban on merchantmen could be a much bigger problem than we think it is right now. So let me roll the intro and let's watch the clip, and afterwards we're gonna talk about it.
Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye.
They should have had the devs spend all that time and effort they put into designing the conventional hull into working on the ships they haven't released. Well, like, I could understand that point of view, but also why would they release ships without... Like, we currently have 100 plus ships, maybe even 200 ships that honestly have no purpose. Like, 90% of them have less than 1% of the ship itself being, like, interactable with. So, let's say, like, the Carrack looks amazing, great, but it's a fucking empty shell. You get inside of it, you walk around it, you get to the pilot seat, or you get to the turret, or you get to the med bay. But you have like 3 points of interest in a ship that's like, what is it, 120 fucking meters long, and I don't know how wide, and you can't interact with anything else. So even if they like released the Endeavor or whatever right now, it would be just an empty shell. Maybe you would get like a farming module, and you will have farming modules around, and you will see grass inside of it, but you will not be able to interact with it because it is not in the game. And that's the issue. It's not the ships, and that's like a point that a bunch of people missed in my latest video from Sunday. Because my point behind the video is, when the fuck are we gonna get more features? More features for the ships themselves, or more...
Request landed. Request landed.
As requested.
Request landed.
Asking now.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Sheesh. Got a lot of money for you. Whenever I request landed, your ass need to give me fucking landed, okay? Go back to Grumpy Eye.
Gameplay loops that we're gonna finish with ships. That's the issue. It's not the ships. I don't care about the ban on merchantmen if it's gonna be as empty as this whole expo hall is. But like, at least in this expo hall, you can interact with the ships, right? You have a bunch of like empty space because luxury and all that shit, but you can interact with the ships. You can go and check them out. Ban on merchantmen, also you see this like once a year, maybe twice if you count Invictus, because it's basically the same event. But yeah, when you get the merchantman, it's gonna be as big as this shit, and most of the rooms inside of it are just gonna be unused and whatever. So yeah, I don't care about the BMM, I don't care about any ships, I don't care about my Odyssey. I do have the BMM, I do have the Odyssey. I do not care about them. I care about all of the ships getting their game loops. Exploration, farming, data running, fucking salvage. Okay, we're gonna get that next batch. I can't even fucking remember most of them, but there was a bunch of them. Fucking repairing, mechanics, refueling. Okay, we have refueling, sure. There is a bunch of like other features that I completely forgot about, But yeah, we don't have them. And then we have a big ass ship like the Carrack, or maybe like you get the Polaris. Sure, great, but like what the fuck is the point? You can only fire the torps and you can fire the guns, and it's basically the same as the Carrack, but like it's gonna be useless. What are you gonna kill with it? Idris once a day when it spawns for you, the mission spawns for you? I don't know. Then you get the Idris M or the Idris P, doesn't matter, and then what? What are you gonna do with it? Fire the main gun at, I don't know, PTVs on the ground or Gladiuses? You're not gonna PvP with it. That would be stupid. Running through corridors just to get to one point in the ship that is usable, that has its feature, is just stupid. The same with the Carrack. The A90 jump, like I showed it yesterday, that's like the perfect example of what CEG did before and what they shouldn't do now. They said that they're not going to do it. They said that they're not going to release any ships without their features and gameplay loops and all that. Yet they announced the BMM again, and they hyped it up. They fucking teased us with it. And honestly, with that, I thought, okay, if you guys, so this is my perspective. If you guys said that you're not gonna do that anymore, you're not gonna release another A90 jump, and now you're working on the BMM, that only means that you have the features for the BMM, right? So if you have the features, that only means that we are gonna get a bunch of other features for a bunch of other ships, right? We knew that the cargo refactor is coming. We didn't know that it's gonna be a tier 0, right? But with the BMM being ditched, or as they say, they're gonna put a pin in it, I am scared, I'm honestly scared that a bunch of features got delayed again. And I'm honestly scared that that means that server meshing is not gonna come next year, because Merchantman was supposed to be used with server meshing, like jumping to pyro, etc, etc. So, but like, I can only ask questions. CEG can give, like, CEG is the only one that can like give us the answers. But they're not gonna do that because they want to keep you hyped. Right, so first of all, tell me if you like this format, and if you like me streaming, if you want me to stream more, and also tell me if you like the format of this video, where I just cut a clip from the stream, edited a bit, but like it's not heavily edited like most of my videos. This is honestly the easiest way that I can do videos, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm not sure that I really like it. But if you guys like it, if you're like good with it, then great. Next, let's talk about what I said here and why I think that this is gonna be a real issue. Because we had the Legionnaire that was supposed to have like 2 new game loops and 2 new features, which were the hacking mechanics, where you would use the Legionnaire to hack the ship that you want to board. So let's say you're boarding a Carrack, you want to board it, and then you hack it first from a distance, and then you like dock to it, because he's not going to let you dock. But once you hack it, you will be able to dock and to board. That's one of the things that I'm really excited to see. The second thing is, of course, boarding and that kind of a gameplay, like FPSing inside ships. And those 2 features got delayed with the delay of the Anvil Legionnaire. And they were working on it, and then they delayed it. You can just watch my latest video, it's from Sunday, and there I talked about all the delays that happened in the past, like a couple of months. The next 2 ships that got delayed, or ships in a vehicle, were the Apollo and the Tumbrel Ranger. Which, like, yes, we already have the medical gameplay, but the Apollo was supposed to like spawn people, and it would be used on pyro a lot, and now like it's delayed, and we have no idea when we're gonna get it. The Tumbrel Ranger is a Ranger, the motorcycle, it doesn't matter. That one, it hurt me because like the hover quads and the hovercrafts are just not working in this game, and I want to have like a wheeled vehicle where you can use it as like the STV or anything else. So that's a bummer that it got delayed, but that also means that they do not have the features and they do not have the mechanics to support those ships. Maybe they have the mechanics for the Apollo, but for the motorcycles and for the Legionnaire, they're just not there. And then we get to the BMM, which is a simple mechanic. Like, yes, it is a really big ship. Yes, it's gonna be hard to like make the interior, but they had two artists working on the exterior because yeah, they just wanted to use it in videos and they wanted to build up the hype and all of that. And then they just talked about dropping it for whatever reason, but the mechanic behind the BMM was supposed to be really good, and it was supposed to be like you selling items to other players. So you gathering items so you can sell them, where you would hire NPCs to work for you and sell those items. So you will basically have a few stores inside of your merchantman. But like apparently they do not possess the tech for that because they didn't make the features. Now with the delays of 3.18 and like it was supposed to be out in June or in the PTU, and it's still not in the PTU, and it's almost December, and they said that like it was June, and then it was July, and then it was September, and then they said October, then November, then fucking December, etc., and they're gonna delay it. Sure, I know that they're working on it because I have some guys in like Evocati, and I'm also looking at the leaks and all of that, so I know that it's getting better. But the issue is like I know that they're working. I'm not attacking them for not working because I know that like they're trying their best to deliver the patch. But the issue is that's just a small piece of tech that is needed for server meshing, and server meshing is supposed to drop like a patch after 3.18, so there should be like 3.19, and then the patch after that is going to be 4.0. At least that's what they said. But the issue is if it's taken them half a year just to figure out PES, I'm not sure that they will be able to do server meshing like in time for like the whole next year, because you don't need to be a developer, you just need to play games, and you would understand that it is a slightly more complicated task than making PES, because PES, yes, it is complicated, I'm gonna grant them, of course, but also server meshing is much more complicated. Even the static one that we're gonna get is gonna be much more complicated than just making PES. So the question is, are they even working on it? One of the guys from my chat went to Bar Citizen, and then like there he heard that they are actually working on server meshing. The Turbulent is working on server meshing, which is good. But like it's good because it's not CAG, it's Turbulent, because we know that Turbulent can deliver on a bunch of stuff, like whatever they made, it just worked. But the issue is without PES we cannot get server meshing. Yes, we're gonna get it maybe in December, probably like next year, maybe February, maybe March, it doesn't matter. But after that, CAG has said that we're gonna have 3.19, and then we're gonna have 4.0 with server meshing and Pyro and all that. Now with the BMM being delayed, which was supposed to be one of the ships that you will like use for cargo hauling and selling items and all of that in Pyro and like making money like that, like Hull C is also delayed. All of the ships that are basically used for Pyro, like the Liberator and all that, you cannot see them on the progress tracker, and they are now being worked on, including the Misk Odyssey. And like, because I don't know if you know, but I gotta tell you this, if you want to go to Pyro, you will need to use the jump drive on your big ship, because only the big ships get jump drives and you can jump through the gates. And yeah, like it's a whole mechanic that like you're not going to use the quantum travel basically. So with that said, I'm not really that hopeful, and I think that like the next year could be as lackluster as this one was, because the only game-changing mechanics that we're gonna get that like are being currently worked on is the salvage tier 0, or should I say the beams for hull scraping. So we're not gonna get hull munching, maybe not anytime soon, maybe that's gonna be delayed until like 2025. And the other like feature that we're gonna get that they're working on is the Argo SRV, which like it's gonna use tractor beams. So we're gonna get tractor beams that were promised. They talked about last year and how good they are progressing. So if it takes them a year to like do that, to implement the tractor beams, like how long do you think it's gonna take him to introduce like server meshing into the game? The next big thing that is gonna be added to the game at one point, we don't know when, is gonna be the tier 0, of course, of resource management. And yes, you will have like fuses that you will need to change. Maybe at that point we're also gonna see like a life support system and all of that. That's gonna be really good for like getting those big ships like the Carrack or the A90 Jump or the Hammerhead, like just have more life to them, because currently most of the ships that we have are like 99% empty. Like you cannot interact with like 99% of the ship itself. For example, the A90 Jump, you can go all the way downstairs and you can respawn in the medical bay, or you can go all the way upstairs, man the turrets or fly the ship, and that's it. The rest of it is just useless. It is just there, looks nice and all that, but you cannot do anything with it. Also, it's the same with the Carrack, it's the same with the Hammerhead. You use the turrets and that's it. Like you having the captain's chair, you having the bed log, it's like most of the times the bed logging is not working, etc. I'm gonna try not to waste your time. But one more major thing that is gonna come is of course PAS at some point, and hopefully with that tech CAG can make those ships more like alive, because there is a bunch of stuff laying around the ships but you cannot interact with them. So yes, you will be able to put a bunch of stuff into your ships and they're gonna stay there, etc. But what if maybe CAG makes all the ships like more interactable with, so like you have the mess hall in your Carrack or the Corsair or whatever, and you can use, I don't know, the tap for tap water, or maybe you can like to refill your bottles, or like you understand, like with PAS there is like a door that's gonna open for a bunch of new potentials and opportunities and all that you like heard about this game forever now. And then with server meshing, like that door is gonna be a double door at that point. But the issue is that we do not know when that's gonna happen and if those are their intentions. Because if not, well, most of our ships are still gonna be just empty and looking nice, and that's it. So, well, what's the point? Like, the best ship that they added in a while, in basically 10 years, is the Cutter. And maybe even the new Medical Pisces, because yes, most of the ship is interactable with whatever you look around. It's a small ship, and that's why it's like that. But whenever you look around, you can click on it and you can use it for something. The Medical Pisces is the prime example of that, with the like minibar, I'm gonna call it a minibar, or the fridge that you have, and you have med pens inside of it, you have a bunch of stuff inside of it. You can watch my stream, you can see it there. It's really good. And like the other ships, the big ships, are just not like that, and that's a serious issue. And you paying $700, $600, it doesn't matter, dollars for a ship that you cannot interact with, like for a big ship, that like 99% of the ship is just like empty. It's basically an empty shell. Like, why would you do that? And I would love to see CAG addressing this and telling us what are their intentions, or like how are they gonna change that, and how are they gonna make our ships more alive. But of course, that's not gonna happen before server meshing and PAS, etc. So yeah, I don't know what to think about this, or what to make of this, and you tell me down in the comments, because I'm really brokenhearted, and I think that like the next year is gonna be the same as this one, and it's just gonna be like 319.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then maybe like December of next year or early 2025, we're gonna get server meshing and pyro and all that. So hopefully I'm wrong, but honestly, knowing CAG and having experience with this game and this company, I'm scared that I'm right. So with that said, thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there is a few other things that you can do. So first of all, there's a Patreon link, and you can support me through Patreon, of course. As always, that's amazing. Like, there's a lot of expenses that I gotta cover on a monthly basis to deliver these videos to you. The other thing that you can do is also you can tip me. Like, probably the bot in the chat is probably just like screaming at you. You can tip me, you can whatever. But one more thing that is really important is that I made a merch store, and I was announcing the merch store for a while, but like it took me 3 days to figure out which one and to make a bunch of designs, and all of the designs are my own, and I draw them by myself with a like iPad and the iPad pencil. And I think that you will love them if you like me, if you like the videos that I make. I'm pretty sure that like the statements that are on the t-shirts and hoodies and whatever, you're gonna see the store, that you would love them. So check it out. You can buy some merch from there if you want to. I don't really get the pricing, like that's the suggestion of pricing. I don't really get that much money from it, but at least you're gonna get something in return. And like, yes, of course, I'm gonna continue making videos. So with that said, again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and bye.
Bathroom break.
Landing gear up.
Hello and welcome to yet another Grumpy's Rehab Facility video. Today I'm very pissed off, so let's roll the intro.
Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye.
So, if you're wondering why is Grumpy pissed off again, well, there's a couple of reasons. And one of the reasons is this.
You know, you kind of like led into it quite well there, the merchantman. That's like the big elephant in the room for me.
I didn't say this.
It's a big expectation.
That's clearly on your mind.
It is on my mind. It's a very, very beautiful elephant, but it is very large. I think that's the one that, yes. That's the one for me that is got the most unknowns around it. We're still kind of actively working on it due to basically people chasing new adventures and just in slight priority changes. We've kind of got a skeleton team that are currently working on the exterior. The exterior is progressing along well. It's kind of, it's gone through most of its modelling. We're starting to do kind of material breakups and that sort of stuff, and really defining the overall exterior shape. But we do need to look at that and decide whether or not it's now is the right time for it with the current team we've got, or whether or not we focus on other ships. So it's still in progress at the moment. When it's going to actually come out is completely unknown at the moment.
We're at a sort of like crossroads with it, where we've done a lot of like the interior is white box, the exterior is further along, and we're at a point where we continue down the path and we absorb that amount of time that this ship of that size is going to take, or we, production phrase, put a pin in it and move on to something else, which is going to be a better use of our time. So I can hear the merchantman is screaming now. But like, there is a big capital ship. Maybe there are smaller ships that would come sooner that add better value to the game.
But do I need to remind you that a couple of months ago, or exactly 3 months ago, they said this?
This question is simply, what is the plan on getting the older concepts out the door in a reasonable time frame? Some of the 2015 ships are 7+ years old. Like the Endeavour.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it comes down to priority and scope and resources, which is fun, boring management stuff that I have to deal with on a daily basis. The vehicle team, and I think I've talked about this in the past, like we work to like a 18 to 24 month ahead of time schedule, and we get sort of fairly locked into that. A lot of the other teams in CIG are a lot more agile, so to speak, but we have quite a long lead time because these ships take a long time to make. And if there's any artists in chat, they'll know that like chopping and changing on a weekly basis is just terrible for your concentration and getting into the zone of doing things. Like the worst thing we can do is go, hey, you're working on an Aegis ship for 3 weeks. Oh, by the way, now you're working on an Origin ship for 3 weeks. Oh, by the way, now you're working on a Drake ship for 3 weeks. So we like to, wherever we can, and there has been exceptions in the past, once we start a ship, we see it through to the end of release, and we don't tend to start ships now in production without fairly firm guarantees that the gameplay is going to come with them at the end. That was different way back in the past. We would just work on a ship, we'd ask for the gameplay. If the gameplay wasn't there, we'd shove it out. Example, Starfarer. That's not how we want to do things these days, and hopefully people have seen that over the last, I don't want to say 3-4 years, where we deliver ships with their gameplay because it improves the experience for everyone.
And a couple of months prior to this, or exactly 5 months ago, they have said this.
It'd just be like driving around in a giant canoe. I mean, it's like you need the multi-crew gameplay, you need the resource management in order to have a capital ship experience. To put it out right now would be disappointing in more than one way.
Yeah.
I know people want to have it. They want to see it. They want to walk around. They want to walk around and take all the pictures and everything. And then after you're done with that for the first 8 hours, you go, well, now I want to do something with it. Yeah, it's a very big gladius, and that's not what we want to. That's not what we want that experience to be.
Yeah.
Yet you have released the Corsair, the 400i, and I'm not going to continue because I already did this video basically. And the only thing that you can interact with inside of them is the doors and the switches and the lights. But let's continue.
Why do some ships get prioritized over others? There are some ships we've been waiting for, like the currently being built Banner Merchantman since 2013.
This is another thing you could write a book on. There is no one answer that applies to every ship. It is a combination of the resources we have at the time. If you take, if I could click my fingers now, put the Polaris into production, that would take out a big chunk of the UK team for maybe 12-18 months, which means we can't deliver a constant flow of other vehicles in patches. So you could go multiple patches without any vehicle release or any support for other features coming out. So we have to balance that across not just delivering vehicles but supporting the other teams. The last few years we've been trying to not push vehicles out without their gameplay. So things like the Crucible, we could make the Crucible now, but we don't really want it floating around without the repair gameplay to go alongside. So whilst I can control the production of the vehicle, I have to rely and work with other directors to get their side delivered alongside it. And the problems that affect me of, hey, we've changed our minds for IE, we want to do this instead, also affects them for other things. Like the feature they're working on now might be delayed for another team, which delays the feature I need for this vehicle. So we chop and change a lot. And then also, if you have artists especially, hey, you're working on this big ship for 18 months. You don't want to put them on another big ship for 18 months afterwards. You want to break that and give them, hey, here's a nice little snub ship to do. So that's why you might see like a random ground vehicle come out from nowhere, because they are much quicker relatively to do, and gives those people a nice like palette refresh of what they're doing.
So if that was the case, why did you start working on the Banner Merchantman? And why did you start teasing us and hyping it up and telling us that it's going to be soon-ish in the game and stuff like that? Why did you do that? I have no other explanations except that you wanted to sell a bunch of merchantmans during the Alien Week and during IE that is currently running. And so tell me, CAG, what the fuck? Now you're gonna announce the Galaxy, which is also a capital ship. It's maybe a sub-capital ship, it doesn't matter. We know too little about it. But last year you fucking announced the Odyssey, and you showed us like the interior, the white box phase, and you said that you were working on it. And where's the
It's
fucking
almost
Odyssey?
done.
It's not on the progress tracker. It's not anywhere. And if you're saying that you don't want to have a team work on a ship for like 3 weeks and then pull them away from the ship, and you want to focus on something that's going to be released, then why are you focusing on the Banner Merchantman? Why did you focus on the Legionnaire once you sold it? And then stopped focusing. I think it was November the 27th when you said that you're not working on the Legionnaire anymore. Why did you start working on because you're saying that you're going to work on smaller ships? Why did you start working on the Tumbrel? I think it was the Ranger, and then stopped in September. And then you started working again on the Apollo, and you stopped in September because of Squadron 42. Because here's the thing, I completely understand that the Merchantman is not supposed to be an empty, huge-ass Gladius or oversized Caterpillar or the oversized C2. Completely understandable. But also, when are you going to release it? When are you going to, and yes, these are the when questions that you despise. When are you going to release enough gameplay loops and features to the game that the game itself can support a Banner Merchantman and a Liberator and the Odyssey and the Javelin and the, should I like stop, or should I just continue the Endeavor, the whatever? So when is that going to happen? Oh, sure. When you finish Squadron 42 and all of the 3 sequels that you have to do. You tease the 600i during IAE right now, the rework, and then you said that you do not know where to put it in your schedule. And you're gonna work on the Galaxy, and you're gonna tease the Galaxy, and you're gonna say, this is gonna be amazing, just give us the money, give us money, and then nothing. Because you're focusing on Squadron 42. But also your chairman said during CitizenCon that focusing on Squadron 42 is the best thing that you ever had, because yes, your focus is on Squadron 42, but the PU and Star Citizen, the game Star Citizen, because it's a separate game that we're paying for, but you're developing another game, is gonna have more things faster in a more complete state. And we have had a single patch the whole fucking year. And here's one more thing that nobody thinks about. Most of the ships that we already have in the game, most of them have to be reworked. Because most of them are not, they do not have physicalized components, and a bunch of other systems that are needed for the pipeline, or should I say the rework of the pipeline that is called resource management. And yeah. So they will need to rework all the ships, and it's not just simply plugging stuff in and adding stuff. No, some of them need to be completely redone, and that's gonna take them a lot of time. And on top of that, we have, I don't know, 20-something capital ships that are on the backlog, and then we have a bunch of other ships, like smaller ships, that are also in the backlog. For what reason? Because CAG has no idea how to manage this project, because they keep on adding ships, they keep on saying, well, you will be able to do this, 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 and this, and then they release ships that are basically oversized Gladiuses, just boats where you can interact with the switches, and that's it. Like, the best addition to the game was the Cutter, by far in the past 2 years, because it's a starter ship, because it can do everything that you can do in the game, except of course mining and maybe salvage once we get it. But the only thing that you can do in the game is basically what a Cutter is made for, and it can do everything. So that's the best addition. It's cheap, it's good, it's reliable somewhat, and that's it. And then yeah, you have the fighters and all of that, but that's like the only other game loop that we have, or bounty hunting and PvP and all that shit. So when are we gonna get more systems in the game? When are we gonna get more features? What are you doing, CAG? Like, literally, I watched this video and I was like, are you serious that you're saying this during IAE? Are you serious that it's so complex and so hard for you to do the main game loop of the Merchantman, which would be the cargo, and selling cargo to other players? If that's too hard for you, and I know that NPCs are supposed to do that, but if it's too hard for you, this CAG, to code the NPCs and do that, why don't you let us do that? We already have an ammo trader, maybe add something to it, and that's it. Is it that fucking hard? Is it that hard to give us something, like any other game loop, any other feature that we need for the ships? Like the pipeline, and I'm like, you can see that I've been playing Star Citizen the past few days, and I was streaming that, and it was an experience. And you can see the frustration coming back again. And like, if it's so hard, why are you hyping it up? The only reason that I can like say here is because you're trying to scam people, and I'm pretty sure that like those are not your intentions. But do you understand how it looks like? It looks like a fucking scam, and that's it. Now, on the other hand, we have the SRV, and that's been progressing. So that means that we're gonna get the tractor beams and all of that on our ships, and like the SRV is gonna have the first tractor beam. Also, they're gonna probably like in the back of the SRV, there should be like a monitor and an external camera. So that should be in the game. So maybe the mirrors are gonna work then, and maybe we're gonna have cameras on our A90 jumps like downstairs in the other bridge, the second bridge. So maybe that's gonna help a bit, but also please guys, like it's been a fucking year, you can understand our frustration. You gave us a single patch for the whole year, and I can understand that PS is not working out, but this is like the third rendition of the P cache. We had the P cache, the I cache, and now it's PES. So guys, like figure shit out, straighten up, and make the fucking game that we all like paid for and that we all want to play. Is it that hard to understand what we want? On the other hand, we had a topic where like a bunch of pirates and the developers and cargo holders and me, like in between, I guess, we were talking about, well, I said something, they never responded, of course. They were talking about the cargo refactor and the fact that it's not gonna be 70% of a chance for you to have the soft death anymore, because they don't like it. Like apparently, all of a sudden they don't like it. That's cool because I didn't like it. Most of us didn't like it. So now you will need to destroy the ship. Like you can basically finish off a ship. So that's good, but also they have no idea what to do with the self-destruct and if it should work or not, or how it should work, or like is that gonna de-incentivize, and it is going to de-incentivize pirates and people that are they want to board your ship, because like why would you try to board it if somebody's already hit backspace and the ship is gonna blow up? So yeah, like seeing that, I just like realized that they have no idea what they're doing. Instead of them building the systems for the game, they again want to do a tier 0 that they're going to rework, and it's going to be completely different in the end at some point maybe. But like we're going to get stuck with that for a couple of years, and then they're going to rework that, and then we're going to get a tier 0 or something else, etc, etc, etc. So instead of not letting cargo haulers backspace or anyone backspace so they can get boarded, so they can have like a PvP experience with like FPS experience actually, and incentivizing cargo haulers to do their game loop by giving them insurance. Instead, they're trying to figure out how to work around that. Like, we, the players, are working around the bugs. They, the developers, are working around their basically laziness, because that's what it is. And like, maybe it's not laziness, but it is mismanagement. Because if you're gonna add something that like one player group is gonna profit from a lot, and that player group needs the other group to play the game loop, so the cargo and the pirates. And the cargo holders are not going to hold their cargo because there are pirates now and they can destroy them, and it's a lose-lose situation for them. If you de-incentivize them, the pirates are not going to be happy and the cargo holders are not going to be happy. But if just one group is happy, that doesn't fucking work. But if you give, like, I don't know, insurance to the cargo holders and give the game loop to the pirates where they could board and steal their cargo, then both of the sides will be happy. Well, the cargo holders wouldn't really be happy if they're pirated, but it's not that big of a deal because they could return their funds and they would like lose, I don't know, 10-20% of what they invested. So instead of doing that, they're trying to find a workaround. Like, why? Because this is not gonna be the end result. Why aren't you working on the end fucking result? This is the only game that I know of that just keeps on adding shit with intention to rework it in the future, because this is not what we want something else, but we're gonna do it anyway, because fuck you, that's why you're gonna be stuck with it for, I don't know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We're stuck with the inventory system for a year and maybe a half, and yeah, we still didn't have the inventory system updated at all. In 3.18 we're gonna get like one more button and that's it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, is it that hard? And then you can see that I'm frustrated. And then they're gonna rework the whole fucking thing at some point, whenever they feel like it. I guess the message behind this whole video, and for you that watched my yesterday's stream, you will know that I have a severe stomachache and I'm feeling really busy, and I'm like barely talking right now, and that's one of the reasons why I'm overly pissed off right now. But I guess what I'm saying is, don't buy anything during IE. Honestly, fuck that. They're gonna tease you with the Galaxy. They're gonna say that they're working on it. They said that they're working on the A1, the C1, and the E1, and that's like why they ditched the Legionnaire and the Tumbrel, whatever, Ranger and the Apollo and all of that. So basically what they keep on doing in the past, well, 2 years, is telling you that they're gonna do something and then asking money for it, and then putting a pin into it whenever they're done with the sales and whenever they're happy with the amount of money that they made, and having it in the backlog for the next couple of years. And yeah, so like, how do you call that? You tell me. That is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, there's gonna be a link down in the description of the video. You can support me instead of supporting CAG. Like, here's the thing. I love the game, I want the game to succeed, but not like this. This is basically just fucking scamming people. I do not know if they're intentionally doing this, but at least with me, you know that I'm gonna put out the fucking videos and I'm gonna do shit instead of fucking giving them money for overpriced JPEGs that you may never get because you might die. So if you want to support me, this is the weirdest fucking Patreon outro ever. So if you want to support me, there's gonna be a link down in the description of the video. And yeah, I love you all. And yeah, of course, subscribe, because with subscribing, you're entering the giveaway, and you all win my heart. And I love you all. And again, thank you for watching. And don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space. And mwah, bye.
They buy 2 or 3 of them. Oh, I'm gonna hit it. Like, don't buy it. Don't do it.
This question is simply, what is the plan on getting the older concepts out the door in a reasonable time frame?
The vehicle team, and I think I've talked about this in the past, like, we work to like a 18 to 24 month ahead of time schedule, and we get sort of fairly locked into that. The worst thing we can do is go, hey, you're working on an Aegis ship for 3 weeks. Oh, by the way, now you're working on an Origin ship for 3 weeks. Oh, by the way, now you're working on a Drake ship for 3 weeks. So we like to, wherever we can, and there has been exceptions in the past, once we start a ship, we see it through to the end of release, and we don't tend to start ships now in production without fairly firm guarantees that the gameplay is going to come with them at the end.
Argo Raft is just a show. You can fly it. Sometimes you can't get inside, you can't get out, you get stuck in an elevator, and you can't get out. It's like a mouse trap. You get in the elevator, you can't get out. When you're inside, you can't get out. You get in the Argo Raft, you try to get out the elevator, you can't get out. The boxes on the back doesn't come off, you can't interact with them, can't do anything. Most of the stuff in this ship you can't interact with. It has no purpose. Even this ship, most of the stuff in here, only about 5% of the ship you can interact with. He's right. Right, kitty, kitty, kitty. Getting big, man. I remember you teeny tiny, boy. You get big. Yeah. It's not so long ago. It's just a little thing. Right? Just big. It's got bigger every day. It's getting bigger every day. It's getting bigger every day. It's getting big. Big every day. See your teeth, your weefies. See those sharp teeth. Get you a nice one. Last time this happened, it was a setup. Let's see. Try it. There it is. It seems to be working. Oh boy, this bow shot. This could very much possibly be a set.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Human process facility. One. This is about.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
hate coming to these moons. These are the worst moons in the game. That's what I'm just attacking. Let's see if I can get this landing right here without aggravating the turrets. Look at this shit. It's the worst. Look at that. That ain't no good. side 7s, right? There's a whole bunch of side 7s. So if someone's doing rescue missions, the people in a large group are not going to do a rescue mission. They just not going to do it. It ain't enough benefit for everybody, and only one person gets credit for it. They're just not going to invest and do it. So that means that this is shit game, because no one's going to do it. Who wants to do it? In order to get all 7 of those, you have to have people in turrets. That's what they want. They want you to have people in turrets, multiplayer. But there's no the gameplay is going to be. It's like, why would I do this? Why would I do a whole bunch of people to come out that mission? I wouldn't even be interested in it. And for even this shit to go up against 4 to 5 side 7 turrets is like ludicrous. You can't. What you gonna do? And they made it hard to hit, hard to target those turrets. They made it almost impossible to do, because their way of fixing something that broke is to make it even more broken. You know. It's just simple. Let's just make them hard to. Let's just make it almost impossible. We want people to okay, let's make it turrets as hard as even more difficult to get into the bunker. So we're forced to have to come with people, but we're not doing it. So what's gonna happen is people just gonna stop doing them all together. That's generally what happens. So rescue missions just sit. When somebody need a rescue, they might as well just backspace. So they hope that people, there's someone sitting around like me that'll just say, you know what, let me go ahead and do it. Then there's the griefing aspect. Like there's a lot of griefers out here that are just setting up fake rescue missions so they get you over there and a bunch of people just blow you up and kill you so they can laugh out of it. A lot of people are doing it to make their stream, because they're desperate to have content for their streams and stuff. Now I have rules to landing. This is not a good spot. Okay, so I couldn't fly in on a smaller ship, right, and hide under a rock where the turrets can't shoot through the rock. Can't do that anymore, because they made it so the lasers and the projectiles can actually go through the planet and hit your ship. That was their way of stopping, forcing one another way to force multiplayer. But it was dumb. It wasn't thought out. It was just like, oh, let's just make it so the turrets. We want to put more turrets around here, more side 7 turrets that's super accurate and powerful. That was the first thing they did. And then they turned around and said, let's make it so it can shoot through the rocks. Because we was hiding our ships behind smaller. We just switched to using smaller ships so we could sneak in and sneak out. We couldn't destroy the turrets in the smaller ships. We just can't. Missiles doesn't work on the turrets. So if you bring a smaller ship that had missiles, enough missiles to get in there, you can blow up the turrets easier and make it easy for you on a smaller ship to be able to go in and rescue people. They said, oh, we're going to take that away too. We're going to make it so the missiles can't hit the turrets. So each step, they made the gameplay even more shit. And they don't recognize that it's shit. It's like, how can you not recognize that this shit? What is it, just ego? Or are you just a moron? Because it's really shit, right? It's not working. My thing is, I hate going to find other games. I hate doing it. I'll play a game for years. I played Lord of the Rings for a long time. And I stumbled upon Lord of the Rings. It was just happenstance. I tried many games. I wasted money. And then I started playing Lord of the Rings, and then I settled. I said, well, it's not so great, but is super simple and easy, but I need to find something to replace EverQuest 2. I started playing Lord of the Rings, and I played that for years, and I played Lord of the Rings for years. I mean, EverQuest for years, played it, and I wanted to replace EverQuest 2, and I did eventually, but I ran and stumbled upon that. It wasn't too difficult, it wasn't too easy, and you can come in after having to take months off and keep up. So
Engines offline.
this has slid to this side all the way, and I can't get through anymore. I have no idea how, and I can't get over the ramp. Alright, there it is. Could I get back up there if I wanted to? Nope. Welcome to Star Citizen. Seriously? You're fucking serious. Are you serious? The engines are off. And let's see if I can get on the elevator, man. Let's see. This is cray cray. I'm done. I'm done after this, guys. I'm done for the day. Don't buy ships. Just stop doing it. Stop buying ships. Just stop doing it. Do yourself a favor. Do everybody a favor. Stop buying ships. Just stop. They don't have to. They're never going to improve anything if we just keep giving them money for very little. They're just not going to do it. I mean, over and over again, they show us that they're not going to do it. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna go through this time. I'm gonna try to rescue this dude. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna do something else. Go eat, cook, whatever. I'm gonna take the rock. right? My fear is that the ship would disappear. I'll end up back in microtech somebody where I won't be able to find me. And anything I have, the ships I gotta reclaim when we come in there. It's not guaranteed. It only works about 60% of the time. It really is. Grumpy is right. But the best ship that they came up with in years is the Cutter. Is this ship? That's the best ship they came up with. Even though the rock doesn't really actually fit in here, it's still the best ship. They should have made it a little bit wider so the rock can fit, and you can walk around the rock. But looks like a 30K. Let's see. Let's see what they said in chat. Yep, 30K. Yes, that dude, he gets saved because, yeah. Welcome to Star Citizen. Well, I am done, guys. I can't take it anymore.